Hydro just launched on the Cosmos Hub with a 20,000 atom cap, and in less than 24 hours, it all got 100% filled. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. We were building Hydro with a lot of feedback from community, and so then to see the community jump onto the platform and reach our cap so fast is yeah, it's a very bullish signal for the future of Hydro. I think a lot of people see that this is a really great opportunity for us to really put Atom to work and potentially increase the value of Atom by making it a resource that people need to bid for and then reward users for.
Is this the killer app of Atom? Like, is this it?
Look, I don't know. I have got my opinions on that front. Again, I think we'll have to see. As we slowly lift the caps within the pilot rounds, which we have in place because we want to make sure that everything works as we expect it. We want to test the front end, test the back end. We want to get partners set up like Range and Numia to help us track the security of the money that we're sending out, which wasn't being done before Hydro. And so I think that as we reach those caps, we'll have to see. If each one of these caps keep getting filled, it may be because right now users are getting like 8 to 10% APR on top of their staking APR, which is great, especially right now as we're recording this. Atom's on an increase along with everything else in the market. So um, possibly, yeah.
So, could you explain what Hydro is? What's in it for the stakers, the
Mhm.
applications that use Hydro, and the Cosmos Hub?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Hydro is a bidding platform for projects like Nolus, Drop, etc., to come and say, hey, we want our osmosis, we want some liquidity, and we want to take this from the community pool. Which pre-Hydro, they would just go to governance, they would get a bunch of validators on side, and they would just take the liquidity with really not a lot of rewards given back to Atom holders. In Hydro, this auction platform where these people put up their bids, they say, I want this much Atom and I'm willing to pay this much in rewards to get people to vote for me to get this liquidity. So there's a minimum vote threshold they have to pass, and then they will get a proportionate amount of liquidity from their original ask based on how many votes they get. And then users who are Atom stakers get rewards from these projects, and they're diversified. So they could get these rewards paid to them in Atom if that's what the project decides to use as their tribute token. The rewards are called tributes. Um, it could also be, the native Nolus token or Shade, or it could be USDC. So this is a huge benefit for stakers because it allows you to which you already have your Atom locked up for 21 days. You can go in and you can basically set like a 1 month lock to get some voting power, and then you can participate and get additional APR on top of that. In the future, we're also going to put in place, and this will probably come at the end of next round. So maybe we'll be doing in round three. So not this month, but the following month in January. We'll also have revenue sharing with users. So each one of these liquidity deployments generates revenue that then gets paid back into the community pool. So it's also increasing the community pool. And we also want to give a proportional amount of that to users that support those projects.
Mhm. And so, could you go through the process that you guys did for the first round and how it works in the background, just like step by step for users and then applications, and then like we'll talk about what's in it for the next round and the process for applications to apply and all that.
Yeah, okay. So let's do users first. So someone who wants to get rewards from Hydro by participating would go to Hydro when the next round opens. But in this instance, they went to Hydro. They locked up their Atom, which is a multi-step transaction, which the UX I think is quite good. We'll guide you through it. It's similar to like locking your Atom for Stride. So it's 3 transactions. You approve them as you go, and what's happening is you're taking your Atom and you're converting it to LSM tokens. If you don't know what LSM is, it doesn't really matter. But you're converting these to liquid stake, the liquid staking module, um, which is a representative value of your atom, and then you're locking that in the Hydro smart contract. This in exchange gives you voting power. Then you go onto the platform and you vote for the proposal that offers you the highest rewards, or whichever one you want to support. So some of these proposals are in a token denominated value, so Shade, USDC, etc. And then some of these are in like a points denominated value for the reward. So Drop is participating, and you can get a portion of droplets in exchange for how much atom you locked up. So the individual cap during this round was 200 atom per user, and the total was 20,000 atom. So we haven't quite decided. The Hydro committee is still deciding what the next app will be for round two, but we'll announce that pretty soon. Um, then, as far as applications, bidders, so the way that starts is they need to get in contact with the BD lead for the hub. His name is Milos. And then there's a process that they will go through with the Hydro committee. So there are a couple of people on the Hydro committee that will interface with these individuals. We have guidelines set up around the security requirements that we have for a project to be eligible to bid, because we want to make sure that the atom that we deploy, if they win the bid, is safe. So things like source available code, et cetera. So we want to be able to, and that they've been audited. Then we want to protect the value and return. So we have like Phil from GovMos. He has a whole like whitelisting criteria. He wants to make sure that we're not going to suffer impermanent loss if we send out this liquidity from the hub. So we've got a couple of checks in place. But once all of that evaluation is done for a bidder, which it happens pretty fast, a couple of days, maybe like a week, then the bidder will submit they'll give a submission. It's just a form they fill out, and we'll set up a JSON, for them. It's a little bit technical, but basically we'll set them up on the platform, and we'll get them running. And then at the end of the round, everything is distributed via smart contract. So it's all smart at that point. So there's no more like hand holding or like manual steps that need to be done.
And so, can you talk about the first round? Who won? How much atom? Sort of just like how fast that got filled, and then what they're going to do with all that atom.
Yeah, well, I think this is really important for people to understand. The round is not over. So just because the round started and we've reached the cap, that does not mean we're done. So during the round, the bidders, the projects, they can increase their tribute, which has already happened. So like Neptune just doubled their tribute, which changes where you want to put your vote. And as the caps increase, so right now we're not sending out huge amounts of liquidity, right? These guys are going to get these projects are going to get like 5 to 20,000 atom or something as a loan for 1 month, right? So that's the other thing is like these liquidity deployments are capped at 1 month during the pilot round, but in the future they can be 6 months, 12 months, et cetera. And so that's more worth it for the project to actually put up a much higher bid or tribute for rewards. Um, so it's really important that users understand that they need to be revisiting the platform after they've already locked their atom and cast their first vote, because one, the tributes can go up, and two, a new bidder can enter anytime. And word on the street is for this current round, I don't know when this will air. It might have already happened by the time you release this episode, but another bidder is probably going to come into the first pilot round, which also can shake things up. So yeah, I think it's that's where we're at right now. And in the future, we may see that there's not just one round with one token. We might have one round with multiple tokens, and within each token, multiple tranches. So we might have like a atom, and then we break that down into like ICS projects, non-ICS projects, right? And then you have different pools there where you can vote. And so a user may be able to vote multiple times in a single round rather than just right now in the pilot round, it's just one token, one tranche. So that's it. But it's still not over. I think right now Shade might be in the lead or Drop might be in the lead. I'm not sure, but you can see this at hydro.cosmos.network/voting, and you can see what the different projects are doing in terms of the vote they've allocated.
And so, for the applications themselves, how competitive do you think these rounds are going to get? Sort of how is it going to be for finally applications to start competing for the hub's business? How's that going to like feel and work?
Well, I think it's when like it's a no matter how many participants, it's if it's win 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 win, right? Um, in the past, so pre-hydro, these liquidity deployments have been done without a lot of measurement around, they've just been simple multi-sigs, all of them. Is it being stewarded correctly? Is it being deployed where they said that they would deploy it? All of these types of things. So this is the first thing, right? There's like a security and I guess like a stewardship thing that's been missing that Hydro ideally solves for. The second thing is returns, right? So we would want to see that if just like any organization would want to see that there's a return on investment for these types of liquidity loans, so to speak. So Hydro solves for this as well. And then at the end of the day, we also want to see atom holders benefit from this. So Hydro brings additional benefit, diversified rewards. So this is what's in it for everyone. But specifically to your question, the most important thing for a new protocol launching or a new DApp launching is liquidity. If they're in the DeFi space, and so this also solves one of the major pain points within every Cosmos project, as far as I know, with maybe the exception of one or two that are big enough to have like attracted institutional capital in to provide like major liquidity. I think, yeah, I think this is solving a huge problem that we have in Cosmos. And once the liquidity is flowing, the Cosmos ecosystem can grow. I just want to be super clear on the long-term vision for Hydro. Like our vision is not just Cosmos Hub. It's not just Cosmos ecosystem. Our vision is to export Atom to every ecosystem there is. So we're starting with Cosmos, but this thing is built, with Cosmos Tech, which means that we should be able to do this with every protocol, every L1 out there. So we can take this to Ethereum, we can take this to Solana. And again, it's about um, long term using Atom as interchain capital.
Hmm. Yeah, all these new ecosystems do have like these incentives. You have Barachain with proof of liquidity. You have
Mhm.
Anisha has their VIP. Like this is for like all of now starting Cosmos, but like now exporting Cosmos or Atom further.
Mhm.
So what's I guess we're gonna wrap it up. What's in it for the next round? Can you tease anything? And a call to action for users and applications who want to use Hydro.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what's coming in the next round? So we're going to be launching three new pages at the end of this round. So when the round ends, the next round starts very much the next day. So first thing is everyone that's in round one, it's up to you if you want to refresh your lockup so that you have like pole position for round two. But I would say if you're in round one and you made it, you're one of those, couple hundred users, consider whether or not you want to be participating in round two. But uh, at the end of this round, you'll have a claims page where you can get your rewards. And then we'll have a metrics page powered by Numia data to monitor the deployments. The other thing is we're going to have an airdrops page. So one team has already confirmed that they will be doing an airdrop specifically to Hydro users. This is another thing that I think people may be sleeping on in realizing that like the people that are participating in Hydro are most likely going to be some of the most DeFi native active Atom holders out there. And providing airdrops to this specific subset of Atom holders is probably going to net you a lot more benefit if you're a new protocol than just airdropping to every Atom holder, every Atom staker out there, right? So this is something that our team is going to absolutely be continuing to work on. There's two teams that are maybe right now, and there's one team that's confirmed to do an airdrop specifically for Hydro users. Um, this is this is the alpha I can drop. I actually haven't mentioned that anywhere else, so that's alpha for macrocosm. Um, in future rounds, what's coming is obviously the custom bid duration is really important. So right now it's a lot of work for the 7 and maybe 8 projects that participate in this round one to just do all of this for like 1 month. of liquidity. So the custom bid duration functionality allows for these projects to bid for multiple months, and that will change the dynamics of things quite a bit. And then in the future, we'll before the end of the year, our plan is to have the feature live that allows for revenue sharing. So that back end functionality isn't built yet, or it is built. We just haven't integrated yet. So that should be in maybe round three. So that's what's coming up.
Mhm. I'm super super excited for Hydro and Atom. I feel like this is like the first taste of success. So I'm like finally. I guess thank you so much for hopping on, and
Yeah, absolutely,
we're
man.
all excited for Hydro.
Cheers. Thank you, man.